Today on the show, Radical Ones, finally someone's ready for Freddy. It's 1988's A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master.
Get away from him, you son of a bitch!
It's time to get radical.
Krueger! Well, it ain't Dr. Seuss.
Well, what are you reading that for?
I'm into survival.
You want to know who Fred Krueger was?
This is Jennifer. Your big break in TV.
Freddy's coming for you, radical ones. It's Radical Retro Rewind. Nightmare on Elm Street. Summer.
Welcome back, Radical Ones, to another episode of the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. As always, I am your host, Radical Ryan Hunter, here with Rob, the movie geek himself, and everyone's favorite brother, David, for the continuation of our Nightmare on Elm Street summer. After a brief delay, everybody, hello, guys.
Hello. You are officially settled in, it sounds like. Are you excited?
Oh, Rob, so excited. Yes, so Radical Ones, that's the reason why we had a break. We never do that. As a matter of fact, I've been so stressed that we haven't had episodes. It's like this podcast has just become, part of my life. So not doing episodes for everyone. Rob and David, I was so thrown off.
Mm-hmm. I know. And now we're all in the same time zone currently, right?
Finally. Oh my God.
When you guys suggested when we do it, I'm like, why so late? And I guess it doesn't apply anymore.
No,
I know we had to do them a little earlier. That's funny.
Like 5 o'clock is actually 5 o'clock and not almost 9 o'clock for me. This is amazing. It's amazing. This is a whole new world. And we're so excited to get back in it because I know all three of us have a lot to say about this movie. This is A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master. Survivors Kristen, or Kirsten, as Rob and I brought up in the last one.
I think it's Kristen, I guess. Yeah, it's Kristen officially.
Joey and Kincaid try to resume normal life, but Freddy returns. He kills Kristen, who eventually transfers her dream powers to Alice, who evolves into the Dream Master and faces him in a final showdown. Spoiler, it is not a final showdown. It's far from a final showdown as we continue our summer.
Do you know what terror is?
Hello.
Do you live here?
Nobody lives here.
Real terror. How long has it been since you've been on Elm Street? Welcome to a brand new nightmare. He is the first in fear.
Will you help me? God, someone help me, please!
Second to none.
Don't let them put you to sleep.
He has no mercy and no equal. Now no one sleeps. Get ready. This August, your wildest dreams will come true.
How sweet, fresh meat.
A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. The Dream Master.
So this was August 19th of 1988. Welcome to August. This actually might air around then. Happy anniversary. Anniversary.
We caught another anniversary.
As we left it, Freddy was dead. His bones were buried. Heather's father and what the hell was his name, Rob?
Oh,
He was a
God.
doctor, right?
Wasn't it Bill or something? I can't
Yes.
remember.
The
no,
one who-
no, Ned or
Ned.
No, it wasn't Ned. Oh my God, why am I not remembering his name? You would quiz me on this.
He wasn't coming up.
He
didn't come
was
back.
buried and consecrated, Kristen.
Oh, Kristen, not again.
I'm sorry, Kincaid.
Sorry? You a one-spook chick. Shit.
Joey! Thank God. I thought for a minute...
What? Dragging us in here? Yeah, cut it out. You're putting one serious dent in my beauty sleep.
It's Freddy. He's here. I heard him.
Freddy is dead, buried and consecrated. We won, remember?
He's coming back for us.
Kincaid's right. Fred Krueger's history.
That's right. He was buried. He was consecrated. He was in the junkyard.
Oh, God. See, I said Ned. I knew it was an N. It's Neil.
Neil. Thank you so much. Neil, never mentioned again. The
Neil
potential.
Gordon.
Well, he got hit with a shovel a couple times. Maybe he just said, that's it.
But he survived. And we pick up with Kristen, as we said. But guess what? This time, Patricia Arquette declined due to scheduling conflicts. Or as Rob and I said in the last episode, maybe she didn't want to go out, how they were going to bring her out. And we get our new Kristen Tuesday night.
Do you live here?
Nobody lives here.
Where's Freddy?
He's not home.
I gotta say, starting this movie, you get the theme song, and then it goes into the instrumentals of the Freddy theme at the end. With this intro, I feel like this is not only amazing, it's evolving into this thing, and it's so good.
The literal first thing I wrote down, I'm gonna say this. This might be the best Nightmare opening of the Elm Street series. Like,
Yes.
with the song, the child wonder of just drawing with chalk, the opening credits, we get the house right away. Like, I don't think the next two films are gonna change my mind. I think this really is the best opening. I love that song so much. It is so good, and I always listen to it at least once every other day. It just always pops up on my favorite playlist. This is a really good opening, and our opener was done by Tuesday Night, so
it's so dramatic. Yeah, it's such drama. It's a drama.
And if you listen to our separate bonus episode where Rob just gave us a quiz, you'll go through all of this when we all love the song. We all listen to it. I know it's on my phone, but I named the song. You'll tune in to find out.
That's why I'm glad we chose to do the game first, because I figured we would be going through way too many answers talking about it.
So smart.
Yeah, that bonus episode is going to come up soon. I want you guys to listen to this episode, rewatch the movie again, get ready for this quiz. It is not an easy one, so
you got to.
It was good. It was really good.
What
it was
we
so
went
much
through.
Fun. I really enjoyed it.
Did we survive? Did
we survive? Yes, that's true. I wonder.
This says it's a year after the events of the last movie, and I guess everything went well with the hypnosil and the sanitarium because our kids are out. Joey's out. His hair is long. Kincaid's got a dog now. Kristen, her mother's still around. She's still practicing Spanish, the mother.
Andale!
That is what's so wild, too, because apparently the mom died in the third one. And so they just decided that when she did die, it was part of a dream and not real. So they kept her, and she appeared in this one.
And just as delusional as ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't learn nothing after that list.
I mean, we always talk about this, like the disbelief people have until like stuff is just so blatant that how do you not believe it, right?
I love that part when Kristen's like, you just signed my suit. What did she say? My murder or my death? When the mother gives her the sleeping.
You just killed me, right? You just killed me, mother.
I think it was something like it's his banquet and I'm the main course. Yes. You just killed your daughter or something, or you just murdered her or something.
Oh, God. God, what did you do?
Oh, Kristen.
Jesus, sleeping pills? Look, Kristen, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. Sorry that you and your tennis pals torched this guy and now he's after me? In case you haven't been keeping score, it's his fucking banquet and I'm the last course.
Kristen, we went over this in therapy.
No, Mother. You just murdered me. Take that to your goddamn therapy.
Kristen!
Yeah, that was sick. That was sick. She didn't care about her friends dying, nothing. She was just like, "Oh, you just need
We
sleep."
discussed this in therapy.
Yeah, you just have anxiety. It's fine. We went over this.
That was the best.
No,
So these parents have learned nothing.
Get away from that house.
The way she peeled off, like, are you just constantly mad all the time? Just stalking her. Who drives down that street, let alone catches her daughter at the exact same time she's there? Unless you put a tracker in her.
So I just want to go back to how Freddy actually comes back in this movie.
Yes, I'm so glad we're starting with this. Go ahead.
So, as we mentioned, also, I love that our kids are the last of the Elm Street children actually did continue into this movie. And I mean, besides Patricia not being in, you actually got two of the actors to reappear.
One down, two to go.
Man, do I hate that they got killed off, you know?
So quickly. I love it. They let the black guy survive just to be the first one to die in the next one. Yeah, let's bring it back to basics, people.
That's why, spoiler, pick the game. When you listen to the game, that is actually one of the things we discuss. So Kincaid does have this dream, but we just want to mention Kristen has a dream. She pulls in Joey and Kincaid and they touch Freddy's boiler. Look, it's cold. He hasn't been cooking lately at home. And sure enough, Kristen said, nope, he's coming back. And they're kind of just like, let it go. And don't pull me into your dreams anymore. Please, don't be pulling me into your dreams.
You better be careful. I'm telling you, he's coming back.
Listen, little sister. You got this freako talent to bring folks into your dream, but we don't need it anymore. Time to start living like regular people.
Yeah, let it rest. I mean, did it ever occur to you that if you keep going in, you might stir them up again? Look, we'll help you. We all have better things to dream about.
And you got that right. Signed and sealed.
Then what about this?
That don't mean dick. My dog is like me. Drag him into your crazy dream and he gets wild.
That happens, and we get this dream where Kincaid's dog, Jason, by the way, love the name.
Jason. Come on, boy. Come on. Come on. That's the boy. You almost scared me, boy.
I am so confused. With this dream. And why does Jason get violent when he goes into the dream world? Even though Kincaid is like, my dog doesn't want to be pulled into your dream either. That dog literally bites Kristen and she goes right back to sleep with that mark bleeding on her arm. Like, that's Jason's personality? Out of the dream
He's protecting
world?
Kincaid. He got freaked out. He got pulled into a nightmare.
Okay.
That's his person. He's protecting his person.
It more like he was just, I don't know.
He told her, you pulled me into your crazy ass dream, Kristen. My dog got upset.
So
listen, dogs are like that. When I roughhouse with my children, my one dog will come up to me and gently, because she's not a mean dog, she will gently put her mouth on my arm and literally lift my arm from my children, not horribly, because she's worried that I'm potentially hurting my children, even though I'm just roughhousing and tickling them. She literally go and move my arm, and I'm her quote unquote master, owner, whatever terminology you want to use, because she's protective of my children. So I mean, think about that.
I love that. So so that makes me feel better. But then, Rob,
what's your theory, David? How does he come back?
So Kincaid. So then Kincaid
does Freddy come back? Yeah, how does Freddy come back?
What do you mean, like physically, or why, or what?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been gone for a year. All of a sudden, Kincaid has a dream, and in this dream, he comes back. How did that happen?
I feel like they could make more money off the franchise. No, I'm just kidding. Well, first of all, true evil never really dies.
You think you've got what it takes? I've been guarding my gate for a long time, bitch.
They were trying to spin the story that either Kristen was foretelling of him coming back, or potentially her going into the dream was summoning him back, or both, or that was kind of that play a little bit. There was potential for both. I think that he wasn't resting. I think that there's always a way to come back. And if you listen to the series, you know that Freddy is an embodiment of evil spirits or entities or deities that infuse him with power. Later on, you find this out. So yeah, that's how he came back. I honestly believe that the bones in the dream were more symbolic than anything, because really his bones weren't physically in that junkyard where he was buried, and his bones really didn't come back. That was just grandstanding, if you will, I think.
See, I still don't know, though, up until this point. I do agree. Like, they make it seem like her pushing into or going to his house is almost awakening him and giving him power. But I don't know still, again, in 2025.
So we honestly don't really get an explanation of part 2 to 3. We don't know how he comes back in that either.
You're right.
As we learn in Freddy's Dead, we get the mythology of how he was even able to be the demon that he is right now. And I think that explanation may explain it.
Yes.
So right now we're still supposed to be just this confused limbo of just being like, we don't know how he does it. A lot of people went with the whole theory that in this dream, the dog Jason really did bring him back by opening up the ground. But like, that didn't happen in real life. That happened in a dream. His bones are still underground in real life. So like, there was no way of doing some kind of ritual to bring him back. But a lot of people do gravitate towards Kristen giving Freddy power.
Through her fear.
She continues to think about him. Therefore, eventually it just clicked in. But I do have something that I looked up, and I watched this movie twice, and I don't remember the specific thing, but you have to remember this is a 5-hour long documentary. So not every single thing is remembered. But apparently our director said this, and I think that people heard this and was like, nope, I'm not going with that. I'm just going to go with my own theory. So he says in the Never Sleep Again documentary, director Rennie Harlan talks about this scene, and it was supposed to be some kind of metaphor for Beast resurrecting Beast or something like that. He also admits that in the documentary that he made up a lot of the movie at the last second before shooting due to like writer strikes around the time.
Yes.
So that he is literally going with the fact that this dog brought him back. It was the dog that did it. But what's also crazy is that the dog wasn't sleep, and also Kincaid doesn't have the power to bring his dog into his dream. So that dog wasn't even his dog. That was just a dog in the dream, just like the junkyard and everything. And so, yeah, it is very confusing, but apparently Beast resurrecting Beast was his theory. The dog actually was a part of his resurrection. I'm not taking that to canon, but that is what he said.
I think it's all symbolism. For me, it was just symbolism.
Sure.
And it's a great shot. When this is happening at the end, Kincaid looks up and we get this like maze look of the cars, and he's like, Freddy's I love this whole shot.
It was the silent, like slow running away from, like, you could see he was terrified that he has to go through this again. And that he is like, I can't believe he came back. Like, he was just like, there was no music. It was just him like tripping over his feet. Like, that was a scene. If I saw those fingers come up again, like, I got lucky last time. Like, I don't want to go through this again. I know he was scared. I know he was.
I was scared for him. So this demon dog, we'll call it this demon dog, metaphorically unburies these bones and literally pees fire onto Freddy's bones, and the flesh, really great special effects. The flesh comes onto these Freddy's bones. The glove reappears. This opener from the beginning to boom, 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 boom to this is so good. I think top nightmare on Elm Street.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good. No, I liked it. But yeah, I was a little confused by that too. I think it is always going to be a wonder how he comes back each time. Part 5 does a way better job of explaining his resurrection. But yeah, this one, along with part 3, don't really give. He just is here. So,
To Rob's point, they worked so fast because of the 1988 Writers Guild strike. They turned in the rough draft in just days, this movie. And I gotta tell you, for just days, this is pretty darn good. I mean, I guess you can question the dog pee metaphor thing if you're into that or not. But Wes Craven had an original idea that got rejected. He pitched a mind-bending time travel scenario through dreams. This is what they're saying. And New Line rejected it. I don't know how that would have been, but it's great to have Wes involved. I'm not gonna lie, I think I like this. I like what we got.
I do enjoy the Dream Master aspect. It just kind of sucks that it was only for this movie. Like, I wish that mythology had carried out in the rest of the series, whether Alice had to pass that on to someone else or just the idea of her existing with these powers. She could have came in part 6 as a cameo to just be like, I'm going to do my very best. You know, something, but it was only in existence. And it's not like there are other dream demons out there that she had to protect. It would have just been nice to see her like go into dreams, protect others that wasn't her friends, you know, as the Dream Master. I just wish that power aspect had carried on.
Totally agree.
Did you ever hear of the Dream Master?
Sounds like a game show host to me.
No, it's a rhyme. Just have to dream about someplace fun. Remember, you're in control.
How do you know so much about dreams?
Well, when it's all you have, you kind of become an expert.
So Tuesday night, co-wrote and performed the haunting opening song, Nightmare, because there was no title track yet. She recorded it quickly, unpaid, and it was almost cut until test audience responded positively to it. So it became now, of course, a fan favorite track. I mean,
I think so. I want to say I read that she also had no idea her song was used until the movie came out.
So we, I think, get really iconic kids in this movie. After part 3, where we had, you know, memorable, God, we went through all the kids. Of course, I mean, we got Kincaid and Joey back and Kristen, but the kids in this, I think, are likable. I love right away Debbie and Sheila's relationship. You all get the sense that this crew, I like them. They just get along. I really
they care about it. They actually genuinely care for one another. They're
likable.
They embrace their differences and they embrace their like Sheila knows that Dynasty again, Debbie, for God's sake, like you need to get over your obsession and your boy craze.
Dynasty again? Deb, do us a favor and get a VCR.
And even, you know, Alice is like, you need to, life isn't all about exercising and building muscle. You need to kind of keep each other in check a little bit too. There's like that banter, which is nice.
I wonder where he works out.
Save it, Deb. I mean, there is life after exercise.
One of these days, I'm gonna set you up with a real guy. Teach you to get your priorities straight.
No.
I think Sheila's more interested in dissecting bodies and looking at the outside.
Oh, give her time. Her hormones will kick in someday.
Deb, you know, later in life, you're gonna appreciate my motto.
What's that?
Mind over matter. Look, I'll see you later, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
It's not just all horror. There's other things going on. There's to me, this is like one of my all-time favorites of the franchise. Yes. There's so much here. There is, you know, I tend to go deeper with these type of movies. Like to me, this is talking about abuse that's going on here. The father's an alcoholic. There's about not feeling seen. Alice is. She goes, the reason why she is a dream master, so to speak, is because she daydreams because she is not seen. And I could totally relate to this feeling. And that's why I definitely latched onto this particular one, and seeing that she, through the losses that she went through, that she actually found her strength. So totally, yes, this is a really great horror movie, but seeing that inner struggle that she went through and the kind of what she went through, the loss of her friends, the loss of her brother, and seeing this arc where she became confident and had to fight through and going through the abuses that she went through, the losses she went through. So to me, there is some good storytelling, like you're saying, it was rushed, but there is a good shell of more here. The newer Halloween movies where we talked about generational trauma with Jamie Lee Curtis when she talked about the newer Halloween movies. Kudos to that, to me, because that is something that doesn't really get discussed with these type of movies very much, at least from my perspective.
I love everything you said, and I think it's because either the actors or like the kids are likable too, so you care about them dying or whatnot, and you could feel when Alice lose somebody. But am I the only ones that get like a little like romantic vibe between Sheila and Debbie? Like if Debbie, the way she hypes up Sheila, I'm like, you two could have been girlfriends. I don't know why it hit me this time. Like
they love each other. They love each other. They could have maybe in a more modern movie. Maybe it wasn't time.
I was getting that vibe this time. Never before.
I love that because they on script wise or on screen wise, they look like the jock the nerd, white, black.
Well,
like this is not something that you would typically see. So to see that they have this love and they even understand each other's like weird quirks and that they're totally, this is like, to me is like, wow, gold. So I could see what you're saying. I don't know. I really think they cared about each other. Like deeply.
That's what I'm saying. Really,
at least in the script, obviously they're acting, but.
How can you write this health hazard? You know it's no wonder that you have asthma.
No, you see, asthma is an inherited condition. Read a book now and then, you might know something.
You know, speaking of books, isn't Trig your favorite?
I did like the characters as well. I did like this friend group. You know, when Alice is watching her home videos, I'm like, this would have been such a great series to just break this movie down into like 6 or 8 episodes and just, you know, have these kids die in certain episodes, because there's so much history with these friends who are together. Good. And I think it's really cool. What I thought was interesting though, and they didn't really establish this, but you know, a year has gone by, the Elm Street kids are released from the mental hospital. So they must have gotten through some kind of, you know, test or, you know, just change their behavior, something like that. But going into school, it would seem that Kristen became popular and sort of, she didn't distant herself from Joey or Kincaid. She never denied that they are friends and that they come from the hospital or whatever.
Here you are. Where were you this morning? Rick's looking all over.
Have you seen Joey and Kincaid? I can't find them anywhere.
I'm sure they're around.
Yeah, well, I'm not so sure.
But there was a sort of a line that was drawn, you know, like they weren't part of her group. And I just wonder if it was more Kincaid and Joey separating themselves from them. Because even Rick was just like, oh, your friends are weird. And it's like, it's that kind of thing when you grow into your popularity and then you just sort of let your past go. I'm not saying that Kristen's a bad friend, but I also think that it's interesting that she was able to keep both friendships. But why weren't they all together? Why?
But did you get the clue? Did you get the vibe though that Kristen's obviously her mother has lots of money, and did you think that like Joey I thought was like white trash?
Heavy class.
I thought Joey was like straight white trash if I remember.
Or Joey very heavy on the classism. No, for sure, and that could be it. You know, Rick made a gripe at Kincaid that kind of set him off. I mean, they didn't have much in common.
Here comes your boyfriend. Can he give you a good night's sleep?
We don't kiss and tell. How about you guys?
I just wonder if Kristen was just sort of like, you can't sit with us, but I'll hang out with you after school, you know, little stuff like that. They seem to have been okay with the fact that they weren't, you know, homies at school. But I just wonder if that dynamic kind of kicked in for her where it was just like,
well, trauma bonding too.
Or I was going to say, was it something like that's that group and we're the group that went through this kind of stuff? I wonder if it is like that.
And you can have multiple groups, you know, but usually in a typical tropey school, this would explain like she became popular and just kind of left her friends behind. But no, she cared for those two and she didn't let anybody tell her like, no, you can't tell me who I can talk to. But yeah,
she became popular with her skirts and her long socks with her flats. That look, oh my god, that look. Anyway, and just really quickly, you know, I gotta say it came up in the game the last time. Debbie, your ears must be ringing, the actress, because I keep invoking your name. Debbie is 32 years old. Don't tell me that woman is a teenager.
She's 32 years young.
And that
on delay, Debbie.
The hair was taller than anyone I've ever seen in my life.
That was wild. Like, let me lift weights with long press-on nails. Like, I don't know how she was able to grip anything, let alone a barbell. That was,
I just want to know where they got those that they are reflective metal.
They are shiny. They were just fluorescent reflect. Like that was
1988 nail polish, y'all.
Freddy had on the same fingernails. Like they got them from the same store.
What did you think? I mean, that scene was amazing.
So hot. That was so hot. I love it. This is for no reason at all. They just
I love
and he was good. He even had the little, you know, you had a little bump. You had a little bump on the head. You know, slide down. He played it. He played it right.
I think he really enjoyed playing that because it was like a little thing, but it was so good.
Feeling better now?
Yeah, I guess so. What happened?
You had quite a nasty bump.
I gotta get out of here.
No. You stay put. You need your rest.
You don't get it. He's after me.
It's okay, honey.
Of course, we're talking about Robert playing the nurse, you know.
And then Julie Louis-Dreyfus comes in as the real nurse. She looked just like her. Before I came vice president, I was a nurse at some dumb high school.
Nasty bum.
Did you both notice anything at the beginning, by the way, when we get to the high school with the teens speaking? Did anyone else notice the dialogue either sounded weird or it looked off or the way they were talking, it was very strange? Something about that like made me want to look it up. So I Google it and I find out sound and dubbing issues.
Okay.
So Brooke, oh God, here we go. Debbie was speaking your name again. She revealed that she was asked to redub all of her lines in post-production to modify her voice. You won't believe this. To sound more black.
Yeah, no, that was Sheila, of course, not Debbie, but yeah.
They're saying it was Brooke said, Brick Thesis, who played Debbie, said that. So they're saying that they wanted her to sound more black.
Oh, no, I did not know that. And
so that's
I don't even know what sounding black even sounds like. But
what? So that I didn't understand.
It's typical Hollywood for 80s. You know, like, I know what they mean, but there's no way to just go in and do it unless you're doing, you know, characteristics and you know, like stereotypes. Yeah, that's a better word for it. We want you to sound more stereotypical instead of black. She's a black woman. There's no way you can. It's dumb. But yes, I did hear that too.
I mean, okay, so we're gonna go off the rails a little bit. What did Debbie, the character of Debbie, say that made her sound remotely stereotypical black? When she said, "Yo, needle dick, you're the only one that in the school that suffers from penis envy."
Hey, yo, needle dick. I bet you're the only male in this school suffering from penis envy.
I owe you one.
I mean, according to white people, they don't talk like that.
What?
They don't talk like that. Only we say ghetto shit like that. That's basically what they're saying.
She don't know
grew
me.
Up on Long Island, where we
She don't know me. She didn't grow up on Long Island because we said a lot worse.
It's ridiculous.
But we're from New York, so we're a little,
and then,
you know.
Evidently, other people have said the same thing, that the performances are stilted or wooden, particularly in the opening sequence. While visual and practical effects were praised, the acting is often lacking in emotional naturalism. So if you go back in that one scene when it first starts, not only is Debbie's voice off, the way they speak is very odd at first.
I will say that when Alice delivered her line, wow, you are one, like, that was weird, but I thought it was because she was playing her innocent part so heavy because she was going to easily transition.
You know, you are one major league hunk.
Thanks, Alice.
Earth to Alice. Earth to Alice. Hey, you spacing again?
So I thought she was just going so heavy on the pure. But yes, that particular line, and like, I was like, why are you talking
I cringed
like
that line, but I also thought it's because she's so
out of
awkward
it.
And weird and
that's what I thought
uncomfortable in her own body. I thought she was just, maybe it was poor acting, but it read to me like, I am so awkward and uncomfortable and just, I don't know.
Don't you appreciate that it's not the typical pretty girl? I appreciate it with an awkward girl like this.
It's that transition. The minute Kristen gave her power, she was just like, Kristen, we got to get to her. She's running off the bed. Like, there's just an immediate switch in her voice. Yes. She is just taking charge. She's in the front line. Like, it's wild. This rewatch, I really noticed her transition. She started to just be more sure of herself like Kristen was.
It's like she's a different person every day. No, it's after every death.
Mind over matter? Sheila used to say that. God, every day she changes.
No. It's after every death.
Oh, Dan is so smart. Oh, I love him.
I love the part when she had the fantasy about, like, when she said, you know what I'm sick of? You drinking yourself to death and throwing your life away and taking it out on me. And she smashes the plate because that's when she really wanted, what she really wanted to say to him.
Dad, don't start.
Start what? Telling the little daydreamer to wake up? It's long overdue. I don't need this aggravation.
But did he really say the line about I come home to this vegetarian meal? Did he really say that, or was that her dream?
No, I think he said it. I think he said it.
Yeah, that first part. Yeah. Oh,
so is her daydreaming an asset then to her? Like
that's her dream. That's her becoming herself.
That's okay.
That's her power. I think she was chosen. You know, in addition to having these powers, they amplified her into a dream master because of her ability to daydream and really lose herself in that when she does it. So, and that was the other thing that I also thought was that they didn't really explain too much. So Freddy is gone and Kristen still has her power, but I don't know, I guess because of her gift, anything that happens in the dream still happens in real life. She had the bite mark from Jason. How is that happening if we're not in Freddy's negative world? You know, so I just think it's interesting that you can still be inflicted with pain.
Great point.
In the real life, even though Freddy doesn't quote unquote exist in this particular moment.
So in this world,
she's in his realm because she was in a scary place.
I guess so. But
so even for me, I thought to myself, why are you going into that house? I would have went down the street. Bye. I'm not going in that house.
Well, I mean, we can talk about Alice going to the movies when she's supposed to be saving the world. So, I mean, when you do the dreams, you just kind of have to just go with the flow. That was how the dream was supposed to go.
You know what it is?
Yeah, they didn't really explain that.
And we talked about recurring dreams in our first episode of this season, the three of us. I still have those recurring dreams all the time. I don't want to have those dreams. I don't want
to keep going in.
It just someplace fun, Ryan.
Yeah.
Preferably with better makeup and a nicer outfit.
Oh, Tuesday night.
What's your name, little girl?
Alice. Hi, little girl.
Hi.
What's your name?
Alice.
I have a friend named Alice.
She didn't like that, by the way. You see how that frown came on her face? I was like, excuse me, I'll go back to my castle. My bad, you asked me.
Could it be that it wasn't just because it's in Freddy Place, but could it be anything in this world, in the Nightmare on Elm Street world? Dreams affect you no matter what. Freddy's dream, your dream.
I'm okay with that theory, but I just think it's interesting that nobody else has caught on because we get hurt all the time. So I'm guessing it just has to do with the fact that we're tied to Kristen and maybe anybody else in the world with that specific power. Yeah, I was like, wow, you can still get hurt in your dreams even though Freddy's not around. Like, you got to be careful.
But again, nothing. She just went right to bed and just showed Kincaid, in the morning, here, look, your dog.
But she didn't go to sleep. She just wrapped it and she kind of like sat there. Maybe she didn't go back to sleep. Maybe she was just like contemplating what's going on.
So no more hypnosol.
You didn't see her go back to sleep. She just wrapped it and kind of like rocked.
But if I saw that what happened in my dream happened in real life, I would immediately assume Freddy is back.
Exactly.
He just hasn't attacked yet. And so I just wonder how often can you get hurt and then bring it out. So I wish they had delved into that a little bit.
And do you think that she had been doing this over the course of the year with Joey and Kincaid, like random dreams? Like she must have been.
I wouldn't have been friends with her if she kept doing it. I mean, I'm sure they had a little routine where they would be brought in, but if it was like every day, we wouldn't be friends. Sorry,
like you better stop calling my name in these dreams.
Yeah. I would have said, bitch, you better get a night job and go to sleep during the day when I'm awake.
But I will say this. I really enjoy this idea of finding a different way. Like Freddy keeps trying to find a loophole, and I like that he is trying to keep Kristen alive because he doesn't want to stop. He's gotten his revenge, but he doesn't want to stop. How do I get more kids? And he's like, let me just, because I know she's weak and she's gonna call somebody. And I don't know, I just like that he keeps trying to figure out a new way to do something. Yeah, who knows how long he would have kept her alive, but he was like, bring me, he tells Alice, bring me more. And then Debbie, like that was, and I will just say this, these kids, and maybe I'll have a different meaning or different reasoning in part 5, but like, I think that these particular kids got the worst of it. They like, none of them had a chance. No. None of them were chosen to be a part of this. And they were just brought in.
They weren't briefed really either.
You're going to need my power, Alice. Yeah. No, die with your power because all you did was just give him a reason. She had no time to, to learn her power. This is giving charm. Like they had no times to figure stuff out.
Alice, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. I pulled you in.
Alice, come to Daddy.
Leave her alone, you son of a bitch!
yeah, I'm just gonna have Alice kill all of my friends.
But let me
she
ask
has no
you
idea
something.
what's going on.
So for those who haven't seen the movie or who have seen the movie, Kristen's like, I'm the last. And I know she was afraid, but she also had this conviction that he killed Joey and Kincaid. And she's like, I'm the last. Wouldn't you have just fought Freddy knowing you're going to die anyway at this point? Your mother drugged you and fought him and not called Alice. I would have stabbed myself. I knew I was going to die.
Yeah, no.
I would have said my prayers if you're religious, said Jesus, God, whatever, Buddha, whoever
especially
you pray to,
her
take
weak
me.
attempt.
Take
her
me.
weak attempt to protect Alice too was like,
I would have said, take me, and I would have, and then I would have said, bye, Freddy, you're done. Bye, boo.
But if she would have died, though, in the dream world anyway, he wouldn't have gotten the energy then, right? If she killed herself, you think?
Well, Freddy is still known in this town, so it would have taken a minute, but Freddy is still known. He's not completely forgotten. I just think a lot of people don't believe it. So if she had killed herself, we would have ended it. This would have been it. From my understanding, the rules that were that implied. But like, I just find it hilarious that she calls Alice and then she lunges after Freddy, and I'm just like, girl, why didn't you do that before?
And he's like, his band. She's like, Kristen, why don't you maybe call one of your friends? Why don't you reach out and touch someone?
So ridiculous. But I think that if she had died, I think we would have been fine. There's no way he would have been ever to transfer because the whole deal was just the kids on Elm Street. That's it.
So if she was the last one and he didn't get this thing to continue with the other kids, would he really have stopped though? I think he would have tried anyway.
What would have happened, and we'll get the answer to that question in part 6. They explain that in part 6, how he gets out. So he does have a fallback, but again, I don't think he wanted to pull that card just yet. But in part 6, he was like, okay, I gotta initiate plan C because I'm all out of kids. There's none left, so I gotta pull her in. So yeah, part 6 is the answer to your question.
Rick is a karate dojo expert, whatever.
I
love Rick. I love his
love for his sister.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I love this that they're brothers.
I love his care of his sister, and he, in his own way, is in his own abuse. His way is using karate or kung fu, whatever his discipline is, to release his stress.
I wanted that to be a question. Never established, so I couldn't use it. But yeah,
sort of defeats the purpose, don't it?
What?
The mirror. You can't see yourself in it.
I don't want to. You know, if Mom was still alive, Dad wouldn't treat us like this.
Alice, you gotta learn to stand up for yourself. Fight back. Fight! Like that. You see, it's all in the mind. You see yourself doing something, and your body reacts and does it. Like so. Fight! Like that. Now you do it.
Me? No, I can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, I can't.
Yes, you can. Just get up there and just fight! Like that. Big and strong. Do it.
Fight!
Good. But, Allison, you must have balance.
So this is how they describe it. Rick gives Alice his fighting skill. Sheila gives Alice her intellect. Is it passable? Can you pass intellect like that? And Debbie gives Alice her strength and determination. I love it. I love giving the kids abilities. I would have loved if they actually got to use the abilities longer than what we saw in part 3 as well. But like Rob said earlier, none of these kids had any idea of any of this. So if Had wouldn't been able to see, okay, maybe when Debbie was like, oh, I'm getting revenge, whatever, on this guy I'm going to work out.
But what are you trying to say?
I would have liked to actually.
The movie is the Dream Master, so
powers.
Alice could not be the Dream Master without being infused with the powers and the essence of all these people, and that's what Freddy said.
But is
you
it
have their
power?
You have their powers. I have their souls. Come on, that he says it to her. You have their powers. I have their souls. Come on.
Power or is it?
So I would say this. So like the kids didn't unlock their dream power, but their essence in Alice with her given gift enhance those into abilities.
Okay,
that's all it was. But these kids didn't unlock their dream power.
That's what I'm saying. So
they didn't.
Their inherent ability. Sheila was very intelligent in real life. She was an intelligent person. So any ability, like the fact that even in the dream when she had that device, Alice knew that there was electricity in the wall. She knew to grab and she had had the strength to break through a wall to be able to pull the electrical cord out to use the device on Freddy. She knew to charge the device to attack him. So she had these abilities from her friends. So to me, the way it would be explained is that if they had the ability to be in the dream, to understand it, they would have been able to use their inherited gifts in the dreams.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I was saying. Was this what they would have done if we had seen?
But everything had to line up, because Alice, as much as she had these daydream abilities and this stuff, without Kristen's ability to pull people into her dreams, she would never been able to do X, Y, Z. But she also, without her ability to be able to project her fantasy dreams by living in an alternative way of thinking because of her abuse and everything, it all had to line up. That's the way I'm looking at it. It wasn't just one thing. Everything had to line up for her to become the Dream Master. And because the reason why they weren't able to fully unlock it is because it really wasn't about them. Their deaths is what propelled Alice to become out of her shell, to become the person that she needed to be to ultimately take on Freddy, because she would have never had the strength. If she didn't see her own brother die, her best friend, all these people that she loved so dearly die, she would have never had the strength. I mean, think about it. Once when Debbie died at the end, she said, the despair, she's like, I collected her. And then she goes, I'm going to punch his ticket in. That was it. She was like, this is it. I am so beyond pissed. I'm going to kill him. That was it. She broke.
I love it though. I love that. I love that. And I get it because it's a movie, but Kristen, how do you pass your power? So is it like,
she just did
it's
it.
like a mental
in the
thing?
in the dream. So she was able to pass it in the dream. It wasn't like during like normal business hours. She wouldn't be scrolling together. It wasn't like tapping two iPhones together to summon his information.
That's what I'm like. I love the concept, and I do love that she went out as a hero, almost like our Heather Langenkamp. Both got shafted; they just got killed, right? Like whatever. But at least she passed the power. Then we get I think my favorite moment ever in these like build up with Alice.
Oh my God, my favorite montage.
The training, I would say that it's the training montage, but the looking at the pictures of your friends, putting on the items of everybody.
The child pictures of her and her brother. You see her and her brother when they were children. Oh my God, that made me so sad. That. But then you see as she's taking the pictures down, she's seeing a picture of herself. This is what I was telling you. I can relate to that. I can totally relate to that, where she's starting to envision. And you notice her hair got more pretty and a different color, and her makeup got on fleek.
Did you notice that man in a fluffy wig doing the nunchucks?
And a brown wig? And a brown wig?
A brown wig, brown.
You couldn't even get a red wig?
But that moment gets me hyped so much every damn time. So
that's
good.
Like one of my favorite. I remember as a kid, I'm going to tell you something. I remember as a kid when this movie was on regular TV, obviously it was cut. And I remember going on the bus in public school, and I remember hearing all the kids saying, oh my God, did you see that scene when she does all these flips and she takes him on and she's kicking him and punching him over and over again in the face? That was like such a power move moment. And then she rescues the guy.
Yeah.
He's like, Alice. And he's like,
I love it though. He was like, put me back in. I have to go back. It was so he wanted to be there for her. I'll say this about Dan. So Dan, I understand that he's a conventional hottie, so I get it. I don't know. There was just, again, he was a great example of, just a unconventional jock. I think I said this about maybe two other movies or characters that I'm just like, oh, you are not the typical jock, but he defends Rick in the locker room. He's just like a gentleman, like he's not an ass. But what really got me was when they were in the car in the time loop and she goes, I have to get to Debbie. And he goes, no, we have to get to Debbie. I'm in this with you. I want to help. I am here. I'm like, oh my God, I love you. I love you. And I understand that he was kind of crushing on Alice at the time.
Yes.
But it was just so cool to just see him just knowing his life is in danger. And he's still like, no, I'm here for you. I want to be a part of this. I want to help you. I just love that. He was like, no, we got to stop him, not you. And I was like, oh, I love you. I love you. I love you.
And it's great that they're establishing that now that Alice has nobody left, she at least has this guy lined up. It sounds, but really, like she lost everybody, the brother, everything, like having this.
He's a stand-up guy. guy. He's a stand-up.
Yeah.
He's the golden retriever of Jock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I do like the pairing of them. I think their coupling also makes sense as well. Not to say that he doesn't belong with the Jocks or his friends or whatever, but like it is very believable that he would fall for somebody like Alice. So I like the character of Dan.
Can we talk about there's a scene where Alice has been working a lot of night shifts and Dan comes in and like almost like a breath of fresh air. He's like, "Hey miss, can I have a stick of gum?" And he's like trying to be like all sweet to her.
Excuse me, miss. Can I get a pack of gum? Hey, where you been? I haven't seen you around lately.
I've been working double shifts.
Guess you need the extra money, huh?
Look, you know why. You just don't want to believe me. Don't you understand? I can't sleep. Someone might die.
And the date that he's on, and the woman looks like she's like 45 years old and busted. I'm sorry, actress.
Hey,
from the quick thing I saw.
Yeah.
Is he taking out his mother? The actress is going to stab me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Quickly, whatever your name is, whatever. Quickly, from what I saw, she looked rather way too old to be going out with a teenager.
Dan is a literal like specimen that cougars would easily go for, and he would have the most.
He would make
ease
the money
at sleeping with older women, like no problem whatsoever. I would 100% believe if he had an older woman as a girlfriend. 100%.
That's how I make money, Alice. I don't have to work at no diner.
Oh, Brian knows it's funny. I'm going to tell you a funny dad story quick. So I'm on the line dropping my kids up, and my 10-year-old goes, "That's my girlfriend," not my girlfriend, my like Valentine from last year, and my 7-year-old goes, "The mother?" So there's a woman dropping off her daughter. My 7-year-old goes, "The mother?" And my son goes, "No, her daughter." And my 7-year-old goes to my 10-year-old, "Oh, the mother's not bad either."
My God.
My 7-year-old. He immediately went, the mother? You're like you're going, was your Valentine? God, I'm in trouble.
You are already.
And he's like, matter of fact, the mother? Yeah. We're living in desperate times.
A great set. This whole soundtrack.
It was a good soundtrack. I really liked it.
Whole soundtrack. And of course, we have to bring up the Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, yeah. I have that. Yeah, I love that.
Shout out to my friend David, because every time it's a bit of a running joke over the years when my friend David works out in his like outside, like I always picture this thing, and I was you putting on that song, put it on me, put it on Sinead O'Connor.
Put your hands on me, 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 put your hands on me.
So get this. This might explain why Joey and Kincaid didn't make it longer. They both requested higher pay after part 3's success. So their screen time was cut down. And to save more money, the invisible Freddy fight was a budget time saver because Robert didn't even have to be in the scene. So that was another way for them to save money. You like that?
Guess so. See, that's what happens when you stand up for yourself. You get shafted. Too bad.
So makes you think maybe they wouldn't have been killed off right away. Maybe
it would have been nice for the whole gang to come together to help out somehow. And, just for the first part, and again, their deaths was too rushed, and they just didn't have a chance. They didn't get to use their abilities again either in some shape or form. It just wasn't right.
In my mind, they were just out of practice because they were so used to not having to fight anymore that they just were living normal lives, like they had said.
I think Kristen. That's fair.
I felt like they were just out of the whole loop. They weren't in their dream skills were down. And I think Kristen is always skittish, so I think she was always thinking when the next shoe was going to drop, so she kind of always kept it in the back of her mind, which you could say maybe brought him back.
And that's the thing. It just makes it worse that they didn't want to have anything to do with this, and yet she possibly could have just done it, and they had no choice but to deal with it. Even calling out for Kristen, what is she gonna do? It just sucked that they had to go out like that. But I think
especially surviving characters, it's that Nancy treatment. You survive this ordeal, and then you're just taken out like that. That's the sad part.
Yeah. But I think Sheila got the worst of it.
Oh God, I want to throw.
There was just no reason to go out like that, and she had no idea what was going on. Everybody else got to hear the story, not her. She wasn't there. So it just sucked. It just sucked. But it's because she was cramming all night. She fell asleep during her test.
Wanna suck the face?
No.
That was the other thing that kind of sucked, is that every single time Alice brought somebody in, that person just happened to be sleeping. All they had to do was stay awake and it would have been fine. And it just sucked that she fell asleep at the test. And
Sheila's whole thing too is every time for a brief minute you think that maybe because she wakes up for like gasping, you're like, get her the inhaler, she's gonna be fine. It just sucks. Really sucks. Likeable characters. So Alice is the first nightmare protagonist to survive 2 films. Spoiler. 4 and 5. And Kristen's dream transfer power is unique to this film. I mean, because really, after this, I don't think powers really, besides next, I don't think powers are a big thing going forward, or especially transferring powers from people to people.
It depends how you look at it. I mean, we don't have to get into it because, we have another movie to talk about. But in part 5, our comic book geek does use his ability in this. It just didn't work. And our child also had something to do with how everything wrapped up. So there's a little bit of it, but yes, you are right. Alice, again, may be the dream master, but she really didn't have any control over it in the next. So yeah, they kind of let it go a little bit.
Would you have preferred if Kristen stayed the main character, or are you both okay with Alice and the whole journey of seeing her? From the beginning, the flower to which she became.
I think business-wise, behind the scenes, I don't think anybody would have lasted that long in a Freddy series and continued to survive. It just wouldn't make any sense. But at the same time, I wasn't really too happy with how Kristen turned out. I couldn't handle her paranoia for 4 more movies. Not to say that she deserved to die, but she just didn't become stronger from this survival. She became weaker and just scared all the time. So I wouldn't want her to continue on as our final girl to take us out of the series. And I think Alice in part 5 shows a growth. So it made sense for her to be in the next one. And I would have been okay if she was even in the 6th, but they do a big time jump in the 6th. So yeah. So I'm okay that Kristen left.
Yeah, Kristen always seemed to be giving I'm in the early stages of rehab. Fortunately, I'm not making light of that as a joke. That is not a joke in any way. It's just what I'm saying, the vibe that she got. It was always I'm in a bad place. I'm depressed. And I get it. Someone is stalking you and killing you and your dream and your friends are dying. I got that.
She has a very big responsibility too.
I understand that, but that's not going to carry you through if you're trying to rally the troops to try to save. And honestly, maybe I don't know. Because then you said if she was around, maybe she could have saved Kincaid and Joey if she wasn't.
And not that their powers really worked. They weren't the ones that took him out in the dream. Kincaid's strength or Joey's. What the hell was Joey's? His screaming.
But I just feel again, if they were more in tune, because I feel like Kincaid, I would have thrown the thing on Freddy and I would have taken off, or I would have followed that stupid ass dog after it ran. I wouldn't have waited for him to come up out of the ground.
I don't think it would have worked different. I feel like he was going to be trapped in that dream regardless, unfortunately.
And Ryan, I think you would have gotten a lot more of that if the movie was made today. I think in the 80s, you kind of don't give that much detail because, we want to go and just see people die in the dream. We don't want it to make sense. And yes, there was a little bit of confusion, but at the same time, we go for the creativity of the dreams. I think in the 80s, something as thoughtful as this was not warranted. And I think today we would want all of those details. We thrive on that whole explanation. So I just think it's a product of the 80s.
Great point. So one of the things that we mentioned the last time to take a look for when we watched this. And David, they said that Tyron, Knives,
Yeah,
I'm Beautiful.
Taryn
was one of the faces on Freddy's chest. I looked this whole time.
I didn't see her.
No one resembled this. Like they were saying past victims' faces resembled.
Yeah.
I didn't see one person, especially I didn't see a mohawk. I didn't see any of that. Like I was looking for a mohawk to see anything. But we do see when the spirits are released, we do see the cast members that are in this movie.
Yeah.
And they were happy as hell, let me tell you. That way that Freddy is taken out is really freaking cool.
It is. I do enjoy their cameo at the movie theater too. All of the people who had died were in there clapping. And it's almost like every other movie, I forget it's them. I always think they're strangers, and then I watch it again, and then it's like, oh, it's them. It's all of the.
But aren't they strangers when she first walks in, and then they transform into?
I think they are, and that's when always get taken out. Like I always forget, and then sometimes I'll just notice. But this is the first time that I noticed that their faces were in those fluorescent spirits all flying. I didn't know that those were them the whole time. I forgot. They're more graphic in the next movie. We'll talk about that. But yeah, in this one, they're just spirits. Like I didn't notice their faces before, so I thought that was a nice touch.
And I love the rhymes. I love the rhyme too.
Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you, were you guys okay with how he was defeated this time around?
I am eternal.
Now I lay me down to sleep. The master of dreams my soul I'll keep. In the reflection of my mind's eye,
Evil will see itself.
and it shall die!
I mean, I don't know how she knew that this was going to be the answer. I guess because she knew the nursery rhyme, but it's just like, y'all could have done that 3 deaths ago.
Yeah, right.
But it's interesting. It's interesting that the little kids. This is again where she is the dream master, because the little kids who are typically like more of like Freddy's like entourage announcement that he's around were actually helping her, because they were the ones singing this song to her. But it was also something that tied her to her mother, where she said it's something her mother used to sing to her or teach her or say to her. Which also made think that maybe her mother had some sort of psychic abilities or something.
Let me try and judo chop you for 5 minutes when all I had to do was say a nursery rhyme. Like, what are we doing? And I'd like, oh my God, their way of balancing on those like pews was insane. It felt like they were just walking on a sidewalk. They just made it look effortless. First of all, their body weight would tip. It was just crazy how they were both balancing on that. But this is an early sign that Freddy knew what he was doing. He knew how to fight, because a lot of people thought Freddy versus Jason was just absurd, the way he just knew jujitsu and karate and how he was trying to like pull those moves on Jason. It's like, no.
This is a testament to I love Robert because he's such a great character actor. The fact that he's just enough dramatic. And the way he delivers his lines, even like you said, like he was by the pew, he was like leaning against the statue. He's like very like in your face, dramatic, but like snarky and sarcastic. And that's why I didn't like the new interpretation. First of all, he was just like what I always say to Ryan, like the Uber vamp on Buffy. It was like just raw, there was no personality to it. It was just like, like no. I like that he has I like that he taunts his victims with their,
but you know what,
insecurities or whatever. Like, and he does it in a playful sort of like he's a mean, sarcastic person that is like, I don't know. This is what I love about him. This is what I think
have never
iconic.
laughed. I've never laughed so hard during Debbie's scene where she's like, I don't believe in you.
Yes,
I believe in you. That was the best line you could say, because that's clearly those affirmations that people use when they exercise. But I believe in you. That line was so perfect. It was so perfect. I laughed at that so many times. It was great.
And her death is brutal.
Oh my God. I hope she felt no pain with the face coming off, because she didn't deserve that. That was
not only.
Also, do you know she could have gotten crazy paid? I'd be like, screw Trig. I'm gonna go get rich off this company who sold me a bag of chips with roaches in it.
Yes,
she could have got paid, but no.
You love how that got set up. I
I
hate roaches. You shouldn't have said that, Debbie.
I know, right?
Maybe you should.
But then Alice said it's going to. She said, "I work out too hard for letting a night stalker beat me. It's going to take more than bench presses."
The night.
So she set up. She set up the death for her.
I guess this is my own war.
No, it's not. We all have to survive. I mean, look, I don't spend hours working out to let some night stalker beat me.
You don't really get it. He's not a night stalker. And it'll take more than bench presses to beat him.
And then she handed it to him.
I know. That's, again, give me.
Now, wouldn't you? Now, wouldn't I'm going to be honest with you. Now, this is going to be really
she
evil
did it on
and
purpose.
twisted. Now, evil and twisted. Now, if you were in this situation and you had Freddy's like, why don't you give me one of your friends, Rob?
Yeah.
Now, when you pick that asshole that you used to work with that made you want to quit your job, I'd be like, oh, remember Bob from Bed Bath & Beyond? That was a prick to me.
He's not a
Bye,
kid.
Bob.
He ain't a kid no more. He's like, I don't want that.
Bye, Bob.
I don't want Bob.
Well, I
also
will
think
Bob
it's
anyway.
interesting.
You're taking Bob or you're getting nothing, Freddy.
That's all
I
I'm
also
giving
think
you
it's
is
great
Bob.
how he was like, give me more. I'm not giving you my man. Take Debbie.
Oh no,
I would say you're going to get Bob. You're going to get that old.
Debbie was sleeping on the weight bench.
Yeah. Apparently she
Passed
fell
out
asleep
on her weight bench.
This is what I told you. Do you remember I told you about the horror rules? You have to be best friends or the boyfriend to the final girl, or you're gone. Boyfriend comes first, then best friend, then sibling. That's
so
the
she has no best friend.
Yeah, so boyfriend was definitely going to live. So yeah, Debbie,
she wanted some of that. She needed
Poor
some of that
thing.
Dan, the man.
Poor thing.
Before.
Get away from him, you son of a bitch!
But yeah, he was so witty in this one. The wet dream line, like all of it just fit. He was
good.
great in this. So good with the lines.
And he's getting more comfortable. You can tell he's playing around more, and it's the humor is getting.
I want to know, Ryan, would you pick one of your enemies? Maybe somebody that made fun of the podcast?
Maybe someone who made fun of the podcast.
Would you pick them if he said, bring me more, Ryan?
I would like to think I would be better. I mean,
well, honestly, if he's like, why don't you reach out and touch somebody? I'd be like, no, not really. Not doing that right now. Sorry.
Like you said, maybe I would pick older people. I'm like, here, Freddy, this looks good. You want this? That's all you're getting. I honestly, I don't know if I hate someone enough to do
I don't
that.
hate anybody, but if you had to pick somebody, someone that really wronged you, or I don't know, Putin. I don't know.
But it always
anybody,
comes back to
I don't know
you. I
who
think it's
anybody.
It always comes back. I think it always comes back. But I guess so. Yeah, I guess I would think of somebody.
I guess you'd have the monkey paw. I don't know. You have to come up with something.
The monkey paw. Yeah, that's so
you have to give him the most negative. I don't know. What's the it follows. You'd have to give it to the most bad. My mind is oozing right now. I would try to get an evil person. I don't know. I don't even know who I would come up with. I wouldn't want anybody to die. I'm not. Who am I to judge anybody? But I mean, it was difference between Debbie and Hitler. I'm picking Hitler.
Well, yeah, of course. If that was the
yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Come on now.
You know, I slept through all of last night, and I haven't done that in days.
I'm still having trouble. I can sleep 2, maybe 3 hours if I'm lucky. I don't mind, though. I have more reasons to stay awake now.
So this was interesting. Despite being the star, Freddy has the least screen time compared to other sequels in this movie, which to me is crazy because compared to the first few, you think that he's not in it, but he's only in 15 minutes total. Yet he dominates the marketing and, of course, the visuals of the film. So we're getting less of Freddy, but he seems to have a bigger impact. Like, I don't know, like maybe
because the dream
personality
sequences are getting to the point now, and so we have to really understand, like, do we want these long Amanda dreams where, you know, we get an alleyway and we're running and whatever, or do we want straight to the point? Joey was done in 30 seconds. That was it.
Right.
So, I mean, like, they're going
Apparently
really
he usually
quick.
is.
Oh my god.
So, I mean, It just is just a matter of what kind of dreams we want. But yeah, they're dying a lot quicker. And the other thing is that we're getting Freddy in more of a special effects sort of way instead of him as the actor, and more of that in the sequel. Because, I mean, in part 5, because that kind of happens multiple times where we don't necessarily see. He's more, changing the environment instead of him just constantly being the stalker. So,
and then by the end, he can turn into a CGI centipede. Remember, without smoking
centipede.
a hookah, whatever. Yeah, Reapy Jackson should have been there with a hookah thing. So Radical One's going to be like, we never left you. And of course, now the summer is going to be extended into September. But it is what it is. You'll get every Nightmare on Elm Street movie there is. And we still got to do Freddy's Nightmares, the TV show. We got to figure out which episode.
I remember that so well.
I'm assuming we'll probably pick one that has Freddy actually in the story, because there's some that he's not involved in. Whatever. He's
just giving us Tales from the Crypt.
He narrates. Yeah, it was Tales from the Crypt, basically. Yes. So all in all, one of the top for you guys as well, top nightmare movies.
So this one definitely grew on me. It really wasn't one of my favorites growing up, but as an adult, I started watching this with, a better vision, and I just am impressed by, again, more of the mythology that was given to us.
Yes.
And yeah, I just thought it was a lot of fun. But as what we were talking about, the characters, I think, really make this movie. So I started to like this a little bit more. And, for the longest time, I had part 3 as my favorite. But again, at the end of the series, I'll definitely tell you which one's my favorite.
And David, he knew enough to hopefully survive a trivia game. But this is, I remember Alice.
This is in my top 3. I'm going to hold off because I haven't explored all the other ones. We go on for the rest of the summer lineup. I want to revisit more, but just the emotional attachment I have to the characters and the storyline and some of the more poignant parts of it, just besides the horror, and definitely speak to my soul, as people might say. So they're very up there. And obviously the original is still, to me, one of, if not the top. But
that's what I was going to say. I think it's still 3-4 in the original for me. But we'll see, because you never know. Also, to invoke Friday the 13th, without the teens, the characters, you have to like them, I feel like, for these movies to work. So when you get characters that you enjoy, counselors and Friday the 13th that you like, it definitely makes it better. Since this is a callback to our first year, and we were talking about that Jason couldn't make movies, guess what? He's back! He can come back from the grave finally. So we are getting that, not only that, and something that Rob said earlier, almost like if this was a TV show, evidently, I don't quote me on this, but they're saying that the new TV show that's coming out, separate from the movies, Crystal Lake, is going to adapt each movie as a season. So if they do that,
but okay, I want to say that Jason is in this first season, though. So
they're saying kid Jason, and then they're saying adult Jason will show up. They're saying in the finale. So there's
okay, that makes sense. So
kill her, mommy, kill her.
Would you enjoy that? Would you enjoy them actually doing that too?
Yes, that's like that. That should take over American Horror Story.
Oh God, yeah. At this point,
I mean that definitely could be interesting. I mean, we were gonna get a little bit of that with the Lost Boys, but for some reason that didn't work. But yeah, we're definitely bringing in new decades with this new series, so I guess it could. I just think because we already know what's gonna happen, we don't know what happened in the first one. Because is it the first movie that we're getting, or are we getting, because she's a cook?
It's like
in
a
the
prequel.
First one.
I think it's like a prequel.
We don't know the story, so if we're gonna know the story in the next seasons, I don't know how that will translate. But I'm open to it if it's a success.
Because think of it almost like when you were speaking earlier, and think of these teens getting to have like a 10-episode story when you could actually have them dreaming and maybe not dying in the same episode or / movie. So I wonder if that's the route to go, maybe with Nightmare, if worse comes to worse.
Yeah.
Radical Ones, that was another episode of the Radical Retro Rewind podcast. We are still looking for reviews. We would love to finish out the summer/September with 5-star review if you have it in your heart, as I always say. If not,
thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. We're so excited. I know I am. I'm excited to keep going. And I love watching them in order, honestly. Well, Rob's done this now 100 times at this point. The times he's watched them and showing friends and like watching them in order with them. But it's been years that I've gotten to do this. So that's, again, why I love doing this podcast with these lovelies. So, Rob, where can the lovely people find you when you're not hanging out over here?
There is another Instagram page that I have. It's Rob the Movie Geek, all one word. You can find older reviews, archives, and of course the recommendations that I give out each episode on that page.
As well as the Radical Retro Rewind podcast, one word, on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and beyond. And Universal Appeal 2020, all one word, for David. We are back next week with our following episode, and we're getting closer to the end. Thank you both for doing this. Again, check out the game that Rob came up, which will be a separate episode from this. We will see you next time, Radical Ones. As always, stay radical, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.